Welcome back everyone to Let's Play Advanced Tactics. This is episode number 26, and here we go. We're going to start right away, jump right into the action. I have created off camera a few blank division cards. Those are just reminders for myself. I kind of thought about what I want to do, where I want to reinforce some points, and just as a reminder and to speed things up a little bit, I'll probably start creating these blank counters off camera. Yeah, just for two reasons. One, I mean, it doesn't really save that much time. I'm wasting more time talking about it than it would have taken just to make them. But as a reminder of my plans, I tend to forget them when I start rolling the camera. So, all right, well, let's first eliminate this little pocket back here. In fact, we want to eliminate a lot of these little pockets. I'm not too worried about what goes on here. Oh, that was pretty fantastic, actually. We got almost completely destroyed them. So the follow-up attack should be, well, pretty easy. Oh, good. No losses, which is even better. And they surrendered. What I'm going to do is... I'm going to move the machine guns forward, but I'm going to move the rangers south, because they'll help clean up this unit next turn. And the machine guns are just going to start heading over to Fishhawk. Now, next thing is, I'm going to take this unit, move it forward, and then bombard this unit. I'm glad that it actually only has 8 rounds of bombardment, 80 action points, because I am destroying the oil, which I'm going to take right afterwards. So it's good to minimize the amount of location damage we're doing. But oil hasn't been the big concern. In fact, Roz is the one that's stayed neutral, although hopefully this turn we will also be able to adjust that situation. So let's just attack with all of them, all 3. The machine gun unit being the only iffy unit here because we are attacking in open plains, but I could use the extra firepower, so they do still have a nice solid 10 machine guns, so that's powerful. Could take some casualties here, but that is actually much better than I expected. Some units retreated, but that's fine. I don't think we can even deal with them this turn, but let's see, let's move this one in, and we can actually move this machine gun back. He could also attack. So the question is, can this unit attack? This one cannot attack here, so we'll just keep him there. I think we'll pull this unit up from the back. It's interesting, cost 50 here. It only costs 40 if these guys weren't there. 40, then it would cost 50 to move here. Okay, I was just trying to see if there's any way we possibly can eliminate these guys, so we don't have to spend another turn next turn eliminating them. It doesn't look like it, so I'm just having an internal debate whether it's worth it to move this guy forward or not. Let's go ahead and do it because, yeah, it should minimize the number of casualties we'll take. And we want this machine gun back out into Fishhawk as soon as possible. So let's do it this way. Hopefully no casualties. Nope. But they weren't completely eliminated, and this is what I was talking about. So since this guy's already committed, there's no reason to try to pull him back now. He can't move anywhere, but he can either stay where he is, or we can move him forward. I think in this case the best situation is for me to just eliminate this pocket as quick as possible. The worst case scenario for them, or for me, is that they move here. Best case scenario is they stay there and I just eliminate them next turn. They don't have any readiness, so I'm not sure they can even move. Alright, so that quickly has finished the little... We've taken the oil. Our oil supply is going to be fantastic. We got a lot of political points, so again, we could push into dive bombers if I wanted. Problem being, I don't have enough political points I don't want to spend the political points on a factory. My goal is eventually to capture this factory and then make it work, and that would be about the time that I upgrade to dive bombers. Right now, the dive bombers would be really useful against the enemy armor. They're exceptional, obviously. Like, you can imagine the Stukas in World War II, the German Stukas, just having a field day against Russian armor. That's kind of the situation we would have, because armored cars they fall so quickly to dive bombers. Okay, so let's keep going then. Move this artillery up, do bombardment here. I'm not too worried about the results here, mainly. Start lowering their readiness. I don't think once the readiness goes down a little bit, 1, I don't think that they'll be attacking, and 2, I don't think they'll even be able to get it back up because they've been at 100 for a while, but I think that this should be, I thought it was last turn, but I think this should be the last turn they're in supply, which means they should start losing readiness. We can see that this guy didn't even accrue any readiness since last turn, so that's what I expect will start happening. We're not going to do any attacks here because they are still in pretty good shape. We'll just let the lack of supply slowly wear them down. Now I did create this unit here because I've decided it's a little unwise, I guess. It's not super necessary, but better safe than sorry. Let's move, where are they? There they are. Let's move 20, 30 submachine guns here, and also 10 machine guns. We'll just create a submachine gun guard unit here, and that will hold Fishhawk. So these are all the machine guns I'm going to need in the south. Any other machine guns I'll probably just send as reinforcing, or I'll just start building up a little stockpile of submachine guns in my main headquarters. We don't need to create any more because we have 5 total, I think. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I only have 3 hexes that I really need to defend with machine guns. The next thing we're going to do is probably assault Velberg. Unfortunately, you can see Velberg has kind of already reinforced. We don't know the full story here because reconnaissance is so low. But we know enough that we can't take it. And actually, one effect that this is going to have pushing this far north, and one consideration is to actually pull back a little bit, is we're threatening their supply line, and they may pull back, which is good for my units in the forest here. But it's bad for the opportunity for the French to fight the Germans, which is always nice. Now we know that those fights are still going on elsewhere, but the more they can wear each other out in the front, which is relevant to me, like immediately relevant, the better. So I might even pull back, start doing some attacks around here. I mean, I guess no matter where I go, I'm going to be threatening this supply line. And I'm definitely threatening Velberg. So there's 2 modes I could operate in. I could pull back, or 3 I guess. I could do nothing, status quo, just kind of keep doing what I'm doing. Number 2 is I could pull back to hopefully allow them to, encourage them I should say, to attack the French. And the third one is I could just concede the fact that their units are going to be pulling back and try to beat them to the punch by attacking and surrounding Velberg and taking it before they can reinforce. Actually, I didn't consider this. I didn't plan at all for that on the off camera, but that suddenly strikes me as the best option, is actually just to forget about all this stuff, leave this anchor point here and push everyone else into surrounding positions around Velberg. The way I see it, this is just, it doesn't ever work this way, it seems, but I keep in my head planning new defensive lines where I can hold and then just spend a little bit of time, because right now if I look at our production window, we have 2 cities already which are just producing political points for us, which is great. Just in case you were interested in what I'm doing in production, here you go. We've upped our machine gun quite a bit. In fact, I could probably take this back down. Let's go to 50 and 50 just to get a few more political points. I don't need that many machine guns, basically. What I was doing is upping the machine gun production because I'm planning to switch over my templates to Rangers and then an AT infantry division, which is going to look somewhat like this, but with machine guns and less Rangers. Anyway, I decided it's not time to do that yet because it's better to reach some kind of static line and do it piecemeal so that I don't have a lot of units in low readiness. But I'll just demonstrate that when we get to it. It'll probably happen in a few more turns. I'd like to take Velberg and Nimes first. And that in my head, talking about defensive lines, is when I start establishing like a defensive line here and the defensive line here. And I don't even know what will happen in the middle here, because as soon as I take this factory and I hold this forest, river, stream front, I'll be satisfied. There's no strategic value to any of this, so I don't really care if they want to like muck around there. And then Velberg obviously is the next thing I want to hold. I can hold this little streamline. Definitely hold this bridge crossing because it's a suburban. It's pretty good. This is kind of like Oxford. Oxford was really defendable because of the streams and the bridges and all that. And I consider Velberg pretty similar because you have marsh and stream and stuff. So it'll be, I think, pretty effective. Serve us pretty well as a defensive line. All right, but enough talk. Let's get to the action. So let's go. Yeah, so that was all I was planning on doing in the south, but now that I think about it more, I guess what I should do is attack this unit, which supposedly has infantry gun as its best option. And what I need to avoid doing is getting cut off, which doesn't look too difficult. In fact, we have a lot of strong options here. I don't really care about this unit. It has the bonus and it's in the forest. Oh, these guys have the bonus too, huh? Well, maybe I'll use this intelligence card because why not? So it'll increase the recon of all my other units, but not the ones in the gray. And maybe we'll use this charge unit. Where would we use it though? On this guy? It would somewhat counteract the charge that they've already played here. Low readiness, but I don't have any bombardment. Again, this is kind of the problem. Oh, that reminds me of one other thing I want to do. I want to switch my production. We have a lot of AT guns, so I want to switch my production to artillery again. And the idea being I want to start reinforcing my 4-4, my 4 artillery 4 horses units. I want to start reinforcing them to 5-5. And another thing that I probably could do is actually spend the money, my political points on artillery, since they're being so useful right now. I'm getting a lot of effect. And that would, what did that increase it? Whoops. Increase it by, so it'd be an additional, well, it'd be 33% from the base, which means it's 25% from where we are now. So, yeah. 25% increase to combat ability. That's pretty good. Pretty darn good. Okay, well, that's, like I said, enough mucking around. Maybe what I'll do is an attack here, and then attack here. Yeah. This will just, I can, this is swamp, so if I can take this hex, I'll be able to hold it very easily. I won't be able to take it with standard light tanks very well, but I do have this infantry group. So let's just do that. Let's move this guy forward. And let's do an attack here from both. This might go poorly, I have no idea. Hit or miss. I mean, we inflicted incredible casualties, but I have to be a little careful about expending my troops so, you know, crazily. So we'll move the infantry forward and not the armor. The armor will stay in the defensive position because it can't attack this swamp anyways, at least not unless it's on the road. But we do eventually want to take that swamp. This will probably encourage this unit to pull back and these units to pull back, which is good. That's, I mean, I certainly would like that. Although there is something to be said about, is this the follow-up? We have pretty good reconnaissance. We could actually attack this unit from both sides and cut off this little pocket. That's pretty cool. Now, if I do that, I think I'm going to have to shimmy some forces around. I don't have to worry about these guys getting cut off if this unit moves forward because I'm actually connected by the southern road as well. So we've taken both the roads to Fishhawk. We can supply from either. So if I shift up back to where I was, which is silly, I mean, all I've done is essentially ruin my entrenchment. I can then shift this guy north. Oh, because of his artillery. Well, let's switch. Let's give the AT gun to the other guy. This guy is going to need a horse. Let me just do that before I forget. Okay, good. So this guy is all set for next turn. He can move fine. But now this guy has freedom to move wherever he wants. What I think I'll do is move him here. We can shift this guy forward. That's nice. Now we're kind of defending the tank factory again, which is good. Now this guy can actually... Well, I think we'll keep him here because we're about to... Let's just do the attack from both. It's not good to do a machine gun over a stream into open plains. That's a minus 50% essentially for the machine guns. But I think at this point bringing more firepower to bear and the concentric bonus will basically kind of cancel that out. That's the idea. Let's just see what happens. The facts will just speak for themselves. It looks like it was a pretty good idea. Killed 22 more. Only lost about 7 units, only one of those a machine gun. So, good. Now, who should move over? Well, that's a good question. What I'm going to show you is that we're in supply here, but it's traced all the way around. If we're tracing it from here, it's 67, and the stream crossing, as far as I know, is pretty brutal for your supply tracing. So I don't think we'll be in supply if I have to trace it this way. We'll be probably yellow. So what I could do is actually just move my machine gun here. It's going to make him very vulnerable to a counterattack because naturally these guys want to break out. Ooh, that's a powerful unit. And they're going to look for the weakest link to do it. But I want to hold the supply line, so I think that this is the best shape. And this also gives us 2 units available to attack this very crucial crossover hex, like the bridge. Although the cancel sign here, the circle with a cross through it, indicates that the bridge was blown up or removed. I can rebuild it with engineers, which I have kind of nearby. But until it's rebuilt, this does not count as a road crossing between these 2 spots, which means that they'll have to attack over the stream with that penalty. And obviously, because I'm in a swamp, that means that their armor won't be able to attack me at all. Okay, enough being said about that. Let's do this movement forward and double attack this group. I felt pretty confident about this. My tanks are very, very strong, although we're down to 2 tanks in this first light armor. Now those should be reinforced. Let's actually leave the first light. Actually, you know what? I'm not going to move either of these in because I want them to be reinforced. And right now we can reinforce by rail, so it might even be preferable for me to move back 1. Could even follow up attack, which would be nice. Those are really brutal with armor, especially a group like this. Although the Rangers are down to 50 readiness, but it's really tough to say. Because one thing I could do, knowing that this unit probably doesn't have the action points to... I'm a little worried that they can get here. I guess we could solve that just by moving some units in. We have plenty of Rangers, so let's just create a new formation here. Things are getting a little out of hand. I didn't expect to do any of this stuff, but here, well, too late now. Let's just do it. So now the Rangers here will be defending that, so we can move this guy forward here to protect the road, which is crucial. Note that even though this unit can go from here up, he'll definitely just trace the supply from the road. So the road is more important than this little hex right here. In fact, if it lures him out of the forest, even better. Our armor will just munch him up. Good, so that encourages me that I can probably do this attack. Now, it's a little crazy because I don't know what their combat strength is, but I'm going to do it anyway, because if it is a successful follow-up attack, it could be really good. Yeah, so it worked out well for us. We did a lot of damage, killed 11 units for free, and the more important thing probably is that we're now in a very good position to cut off all these units from the east. So all the western units should be cut off. Now, like I said, that's going to encourage them to move back, which means we're going to have our hands full in a little bit, but we'll just have to deal with that in a little bit. We'll start by bombarding, hopefully pinning down some of their units. Didn't really do anything to the armored cars, unfortunately, but that's kind of to be expected. In fact, we do have this armor here who could attack, but I think I'll move him forward. I don't know if they're, especially with this 20% bonus, which will go away. I don't think there's any reason to do it. And we could have played our charge card, which I neglected to do, but I guess we'll just save that for next turn, and we'll use the charge card moving into the swamp. Okay, so that's good. I think that's all that we want to do with all the grays. Let's move to the far north because things are really simple. What do we want to do here? I think we'll just bombard this armored car. Why? I mean, there's no great reason to do it, but if we can kill it in 5 rounds, then we can get 5 rounds off on this guy. I didn't expect that, but that's great. Very good news. Yeah, we did a little bit of work. Oh, actually, we cut their entrenchment down by 2/3, down to 1/3 of its original. So the good news about this is we actually can advance forward, and I have this armor which is completely capable of moving forward. I also have these units which I could do some shimmying of. Now I want to make sure that we're doing well in supply. So 24 here means I'm totally okay to move here, which I'll do. And then I'll move this guy forward, and we have 2 options here. Which one do we want to move? I think we'll move here because we don't see any enemy units. I would like to hold the stream, but that's fine. Actually, since this armor can move all the way over here, we're kind of protecting the stream. If they cross, then I don't have to fight a stream penalty. I just attack them right away. So that's good. Everything's looking good there. I guess you could say we're exerting a bit of pressure on the supply line. More importantly, probably this unit, even though it's in the high mountains and we have no desire to attack into the high mountains, I think he's probably he's probably in supply because he's only 2 away from the road. But we're in a good shape to bombard and then attack him next turn. And we're in really good shape to cut off anything in the rear with this armor. So this is just a bit of a, pressure on the rear, which I'm not sure they'll respond to or not. Okay, so I had this unit, which has to become the next armor. So we'll change that one, and that should just automatically deploy because he's going to get some tanks from our factory. Okay, good. So now we have a few artillery bombardments left. What I think Actually, we have this middle line I should deal with first, right? This is a really weak unit, so we'll double bombard it. Yeah. One idea, probably a smart idea, would be to start shifting more armor, or artillery north. But since we have the opportunity to just inflict massive casualties, seemingly for free, let's go ahead and do that. And I don't want my artillery to attack, so let's attack with both these infantry divisions. Just push them out of the plains. Actually, that's fields, but same difference. Good, so we won very quickly. Only took 3 casualties. Very good. We won't move in there because that would just set us up to be attacked by their armored cars, but we did push all their units back here. So what that means is we can follow up attack, bombard this guy as well. And we didn't do anything to the armored cars, sadly, but almost all the infantry in that hex is just demolished. We could have done artillery bombardment here instead, which might have been a good idea, but I'm kind of hoping that these guys will get into the mix with the Germans. If the French are smart, their lines are really, really, really pressed here, so they should pull back entirely. Basically, both the Germans and the French, they've really overextended into, again, this is why I'm making a big point about this, a strategically non-valuable location. There's nothing of value here. There's no way they're going to take Oxford. There's no way that they're going to, there's no reason for the French to be here at all. The Germans you can see because they did want to make a push at some point, but yeah, their forces are much better used in defense of Velberg at this point, which I think they'll realize a little bit too late. Okay, so now the next thing we want to do is, I think I'm going to bombard this one with only one of my artillery. The idea is, if I can actually eliminate this unit, I'll eliminate the zone of control, and this unit will be able to move up here at 10 less action point cost. So let's just bombard it with 1. If we get a little bit lucky, we'll be able to attack and destroy this unit. I don't think that's extremely lucky, but we might still be forced to attack it. It's just, the problem is this unit, plane. The problem is this unit is not just occupying a strategically valuable location, because our raws are a little bit, you can see we're losing more raws than we're gaining. Not in a big hurry to fix that problem, but more importantly, this guy's exerting zone of control pressure, which is slowing down the movement of my forces. So we have to tiptoe around, you have to avoid being shot at in the open rather than just quick marching. So it'd be very important for me to take him out. Okay, so let's just start in the back because we've already bombarded this one, and I think we will do the attack. What I want to do is not attack with machine guns, so I'm going to do a shift of this unit north, and yeah, I think I'll do the attack now with a lot of people. Okay. I'm looking for the lower attack stack one. So this would be 254, but this one's only brings us to just below the attack stack max. And I'm not going to attack with this red because I'm just hoping we don't need to, and I would rather push him further forward, maybe get him, I don't think he'll be able to engage anywhere, but just push him forward more. So we'll do the attack with 5 units. 80% concentric bonus. They're cut off from supply. I mean, I think this is just a really one-sided attack. We'll see. Wow. Okay, I'm very surprised we didn't lose a single unit. This is the most lopsided attack I have ever done. We killed about 200 units for free. That's incredible. Well, that worked out much better than I expected. Move that unit in, move this guy all the way forward because he's moving bump bump. This guy had to move north, so he didn't have as much to move. Okay, so where does that put everyone else? Well, we want this unit in position to bombard next turn, so I'm going to forego at bombarding and just move him forward. That's the same idea here. The same kind of idea that so once he's free to move in a way where he doesn't have to take zone of control slowdown action points. I want to do this, so it's 60 to move here now, but if I can take this one, it'll be 50. Okay, let's see who can attack this guy as is. I don't think I want both these units. Remember, this guy got manhandled again. I don't know the polite way of putting it. He was destroyed last turn, took a lot of casualties, so he's not in good shape to attack. But the rest of these guys are fine. So let's do a 3-sided attack and just pray it goes well. Okay, off to a good start. Iffy start. Good. We'll definitely take that. That's nice. Even if we had taken more losses, the strategic value of this hex is worth kind of like, I guess, taking a bit of casualties, you know, for strategically important hexes like cities, especially for cities. Remember what I did for Coutons. I just threw a bunch of people in and, you know, you take extra casualties, but that's because it's a strategically important hex, so you need to take it. Okay, so that means that... Did I end up attacking with this guy? I think I deselected him. Yeah, action points shows me that he was deselected. Okay, so then this unit is way too beefy to attack, but 100 entrenchment just for moving into low mountains. So I'm expecting that these rangers will hold fine. What I wanted to do is shift some of these rangers around. In fact, I would like to take this hex. So now we have... well, this unit cannot actually get to this hex, which I would prefer it to bombard. There's no way how much action points would it take for this guy to get here. 75, so he would be like very poor. I think we'll just have him bombard here. So it's pretty heavily weakened. Entrenchment, yeah, down to it 1/3 of its original, which I think means we can probably even attack it. Although I don't want to attack with this unit because I want him to attack here. Let's just do this attack immediately. It's a bit iffy. It's like 100 to 15. That's like 5 to 1. They probably have really good entrenchment, but another situation where this is such a strategically valuable hex, I kind of want to take it at all cost. It's not looking good, is it? Oh, wow. Okay, we did win, but we took... I mean, this is exactly what I'm talking about. You take a lot of casualties. But that gives us one more hex to attack Coutons from. So I'm going to move these units forward, expecting that other units can go and fill the void here. How's this red unit? Yeah, I think it'd be really useful. Well, okay. Let's bombard here then. You can see we didn't really do much. I mean, he only had 5 turns to bombard. I think this is pretty safe because it's low mountains. They don't have a whole lot of units here. I'm a little worried about their armored cars, which are probably still at 14 or something huge. So I want to make this a submachine gun guard. I want to make it... This only has 30 and 6. This has 20 and 10. 30 and 6 versus 20 and 10. So which is more important, 10 submachine guns or 10 submachine guns, which I would be short, or being short 4 machine guns? Against infantry, it would be the machine guns. Against armor, it would be the submachine guns. So what we'll do, I think, is... actually, this guy doesn't have the submachine guns left, does he now? But we can transfer 2 AT guns in to whatever. Okay, I guess I'll make him a yellow unit. I know that took a while, but I'm just trying to figure out... I want... The direct transfer is going to be the lowest readiness penalty. So these guys will go in and they'll still have... They'll still have 75% of their readiness, which is good. We'll make it a submachine gun guard. But next thing is we're going to actually add 2 AT guns to it. Because I'm really nervous about AT guns. Oops, not 3, just 2. Good. So now, since we've already done that, we might as well add 10 or whatever, however many submachine guns they're missing as well. Well, we can only add 10, so let's just add all 10. Good. So this is, it's not a bad unit. The important thing is the AT guns, but unfortunately they're in such low readiness, I doubt they'll be very helpful. So we'll have to be a little bit careful about this hex. Not that I'm like, This is the more vulnerable hex, right? Although the AT guns here are at least, oh, we need another. Is this guy going to move anywhere? I don't think so. So let's get him another horse and just let him kind of further entrench here. Good, very good. Okay, so we're very close to taking Nimes. I think we'd like to attack this unit if we can. How to do that? Okay, I think we'll move this 1/9, the 7th in and the 6th in, and attack with both of those. Because it's only armored cars, so hopefully my tanks are better than them. Which they are, but we took, considerable losses in order to do that. I am pretty confident that my 2 tank divisions will be able to hold here very well. So we'll leave these guys alone. What about this unit? I think we'll move this one down to defend the open plains. And that means this red will move here. And get these guys to move as far as they can. This guy could attack, actually. That's interesting. I think we'll actually do that as well. Yeah, we might as well attack this guy because we can get him from 4 sides now, which is great. Yeah, that was fantastic. We only took 2 losses and we actually eliminated the unit altogether. I'm going to move this machine gun back. He's going to be my armored division next turn. So we'll move this guy all the way forward, as far forward as we can. He can only move there, so that's fine. Everyone's in supply. Don't move here. Note to self. Good. I think that brings everything that we want to do to a close. Can move either of these places. Yeah, because we can move here for free, which means really we move here and we can move either of these places. I guess let's move southeast, so let's do that. This guy can move... Ooh, he can move either. Let's move him further south, just to protect that road. This guy is stuck where he is. These machine guns should be able to move forward. They can. This one can only get here. Why is that? Because of the horse. I see. Crossing this is harder on a horse. That's true. We could actually remove the AT guns from this guy, just to get him to move a little bit further. Because obviously when I attack Nimes, I want machine guns to be involved with the attack. Ooh, well, I guess we'll do it. Yeah. So let's just transfer these back. transfer, transfer, and now this guy should be able to move forward. That's fine. Okay, good. So we're in good position. We have 2 artillery set up to bombard Nimes. We've taken this raw. Not that that was hugely important, but it does solve our raw problem. And everything else looks good. So we're stretching on a little bit long for this video already. Let's go ahead and... oh, I almost forgot about this guy. Move him over here just to avoid the stream crossing. And this engineer can finally build this road, which has been long in coming. I should have done that earlier so that nobody took the stream crossing penalty, but fair enough. I didn't. Too late. Okay, so and then what do we need to do? Just transfer of units. So we have everything built here. We have plenty of AT guns, which we should distribute wherever we feel like we could be attacked. This is a pretty solid line. We have 2 AT guns here. We have 1 here, so let's make that one a 2. It's not even being threatened, I think, but we'll just do this for good measure. And now, who else needs AT guns? We can probably actually disperse 2 AT guns to each headquarters, actually. So this red doesn't need to move, so we'll do 2 and 2 horses. Well, let's give him 3 horses, why not? Now, does yellow want to move? We would want to move yellow only if we already moved an AT gun in here, so we can't. So, yeah, we'll go ahead and move, I guess, just 1 more AT gun in here, because he already got 1 back. So that gives them each one 2 to play with. Okay, now how are we doing on staff? 107, 111, 108. So let's give this guy, I don't know if he needs 10, but maybe 6 more. Yeah, that helps. 110, 111. And then this guy's a little low, but as always, he'll receive 24 new staff at the beginning of next turn. Okay, good. So is there anything else we need to do? Rangers and machine guns, 34 and 20. 50 and 6. So this guy needs more machine guns. Definitely. Most definitely. Let's give him 20 even. We're sitting pretty at 30 ourselves, so. And Rangers, we have 50 there. We probably could use some more Rangers in the north. We have 34, so let's get another 10 over there. Yeah, just try to keep them stocked. Okay, now I think everything's good, and we will end the turn without further ado. Russians move first. We'll check the world map at the beginning of the next episode. Okay, we're attacked, but we held. Interesting. I wonder how that attack went. Poorly? Good? I mean, well enough that we held, but... And we can see that they're starting to move back. They did attack. Not surprisingly. A lot of attacking. Let's see what all happened. Okay, so we lost 41 infantry. We inflicted 12 armor and damage. Damn, it's quite a lot. So before we call this episode to a close, let's just first look at all the battles. We started with this one. We took, well, this is most where our losses were. But they lost 12 armored cars. Oh my gosh, they have 34. Note to self. Be very careful about attacking Nimes. They have 34 armored cars. That is incredible. We're going to just have to bombard Nimes. We're going to have to make it just dust before we invade. That's just way too much stuff. Way too much stuff. And that one way we could actually serve ourselves is by cutting them off completely. Because then even though Nimes can produce all the supplies and infantry stuff that she needs, she won't be able to get reinforcements from the outside factories. And that, I guess it's going to be important because 34 armored cars, it's incredible. So in other words, I don't think that Nimes is even... It seems impossible to take Nimes with this many armored cars because they still defend well. Overall, this was still a loss for us because we lost a lot of infantry, which is city production, and they only lost these factories, which are free. Okay, then we were attacked down here. This held well, only lost 2 rangers. That's good. And it makes sense. They, of course, are going to want to bust out. Thank God they attacked here and not my machine guns. Then they also did another attack here. Lost 35 rifles, 2 staff, and 2 trains. I don't understand why they're attacking with trains, but we actually took a lot of losses compared to how many units we have, but just 6 overall compared to 40. And that's it. Really good turn. I feel like we're really making progress. Cutting these units off was important. These units, looks like they're finally starting to lose readiness. We didn't attack this unit last turn, but its readiness is dropping. Okay, so as I have mentioned before, if you're out of supply, you eventually do stabilize at 10 readiness. So this unit has gained enough readiness to go back to its out of supply max. These guys will be easy to take. Okay, so we have some pocket here to deal with, but it looks like because all but this unit are just in the plains, not in the forest, our armor should be able to make short work of them. Can we get there? Yeah, we can just clink, attack there, and probably do some bombardment even from the south to polish off this guy. And maybe do just the charge card on this guy to get him to attack strong. Yeah, lots of opportunities for bombardment though, I'd say. We can move this unit forward and double bombard. We can move this one. Where can he move? I mean, he might even move north, but I'll look at this off camera though. Yeah, they are pulling back, so they have crossed already with a huge armored car allotment. So it's almost inconsequential to try to hold this bridge point now. Although we might as well do it because they left it open for us. So pretty clearly we'll just move our machine guns in there. Do swamps have high points? They do have 10, but that's not that many. The forest and cities have 20. So we have good enough reconnaissance, 120, that we can be assured this actually is an empty hex. And that is still going to cut off the rest of these units, which is good. Okay. Moving north, it looks like the French are being stubborn. We'll probably just bombard them to hell here. Start moving these artillery up to eventually clear out the other units. But it's better that these units are here than they are if they're up by Nimes. Nimes itself, oh man. I mean, we know that something's wrong here because it says they had 32. Although our reconnaissance is 369. So I'm really confused where those armored cars are coming from. Yeah, according to this, they only have 7 armored cars. But from what we saw, they supposedly had 32 and only 12 died, so they should have 20 left. Did they maybe retreat out? Well, I mean, I gotta say, this is not as strong as I thought, and we have really good reconnaissance on it, so it might actually be the time to attack Nimes. Well, find out next episode. Thanks for watching this one, and I'll catch you in the next. Take care.